Dallas Cowboys general manager Jerry Jones said at the NFL owners' meetings that he doubled down on his belief that Dak Prescott can bring home a title. Dak is going into the final year of his contract, has a no-tag clause, and they could risk losing him to free agency as well as swallowing $40 million in dead cap. At the league meetings, they did unanimously ban the hip drop tackle, making it a 15-yard personal foul.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Dad? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. You can follow me on X, Instagram, all that great social media stuff at I Am Pledger. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star. You can also follow us on our YouTube channel. That's right. At SA Sports Star on YouTube. You can like, subscribe, comment along. Jacob Eric says free Shohei. Everybody, welcome into the bullpen here on Extra Innings with Pleasure. You can always feel free to call into the show, 210-656-ESPN, 210-656-3776. And there's a lot to get into, the tournament's underway, Sweet 16 set, all that great stuff. But here late in the show, we've gotten a bit of extra things happening that have kind of usurped my attention in terms of things going on in the sports landscape. And I appreciate everybody out there, Fred Villarreal, Rudolph Gonzalez. What's going on, my guys? And you tell me, because we've come to a slippery slope in professional sports where gambling is no longer a dirty word. And the sports entities, Major League Baseball, the NHL, Major League Baseball, the NFL, even the college game has gotten in with the MGM app and Caesars Rewards and ESPN Bet and, DraftKings and FanDuel and all of the great things that make the sport as a fan so enjoyable. But Shohei Ohtani, who is at the heart of this gambling issue between his interpreter, whether his interpreter had stolen money from him, and right out the gate, Shohei Ohtani lays down thick. I don't gamble, period.
So I never bet on baseball or any other sports, or never have asked somebody to do it on my behalf. And I have never went through a bookmaker to bet on sports.
Immediately coming down and throwing the gauntlet down, saying no sports, any kind, out of the question. As a matter of fact, he says that his former interpreter, which Ipe, nothing but a liar and a thief.
In conclusion, Ipe has been stealing money from my account and has told lies.
He also said that because of having to go through his translator and everything, and this is his new translator kind of translating his prepared statement. So the way this kind of worked was Shohei would say something in Japanese, stop, let the translator translate, and then continue on. So it's very broken up as to how this actually went down between Shohei's statement, the new interpreter, and everything that's been going on. But he says because of the language barrier, as a matter of fact, that literally until a few days ago, he didn't even know any of this was going on.
Up until a couple days ago, I didn't know that this was happening.
And that Ipe, his former interpreter that has now been fired, had never told him the full truth of the matter.
Ipe never revealed to me that there was this media inquiry, and to the representatives in my camp, Ipe told to the media and to my representatives that I, on behalf of a friend, paid off debt. Upon further questioning, it was revealed that it was actually, in fact, Ipe who was in debt, and told my representatives that I was paying off those debts.
Now, this is a very dangerous slope for not just Major League Baseball. It is for all professional sports, because when you look at it in the broader sense, it came out right before the end of the Blitz. Raptors, Jonte Porter, NBA investigation opened up on him and to irregularities surrounding prop betting with him. And in the NFL, we've had the Jamison Williams, a first round top 15 pick of just a few years ago. Calvin Ridley, another first round pick, big name, that Colts returner. Michael Jordan was known to be big into gambling. And I don't even think that this is about the money for the players. They're highly, highly, highly competitive individuals. Michael Jordan used to play a game of quarters against the wall. Michael Jordan didn't need the money. Michael Jordan just wanted to win. And I think that's what this comes down to, is there is a very fine line that you're going to have to walk. So what's the answer? And I toss it out to y'all, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, if y'all want to be a part of the conversation. Where do these leagues go from here? Because Shohei's one of the biggest names in sports, the highest paid player in sports as it pertains to $700 million this year that he was paid. And there could be immediate buyer's remorse on that if something bad comes to it. And it's a lot harder to hide things and cover them up in this day and age than it's ever been, with social media and everyone with a camera phone and the mouthpiece that everybody has. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out in terms of the rest of sports, college sports, and everything else, especially the NFL. The NFL's got one of the more strict policies when it comes to it, in terms of don't do it on our property and don't do it on the sport that you play for. And any infraction, you're gone for a year and you need to reinstate. You have to reapply to even be in the league. Does it have to be extremely harsh to kind of make sure to discourage this as much as possible, in terms of it's a year. You have to reapply to even get back into the league. And the second time, you're done for good. The best way to go about this in terms of making sure to maintain the integrity of your league, because if you can't justify the integrity of your league because of the players within the sport possibly gambling on said sport, then it's professional wrestling. At this point, it's scripted in a sense. And if it's scripted, how much of a buy-in do you get from the general public in terms of what you have versus what will be left? This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. We heard a little bit from Jerry Jones via quotes and stuff. We actually heard from Mike McCarthy today as he had a sit down with Adam Schefter, and we'll let you hear some of that, as well as get the thoughts of one Rob Thompson on both Shohei Ohtani and his statement, which was over 10 minutes long. But remember, it's broken up. He talks, interpreter talks, he talks, finishes a statement. It probably took a hot minute to get through all of that. Between that and the Dallas Cowboys and how they're going about their free agency, what is the level of concern for one Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle? He joins me next for that and tournament talk right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle. The golf course is done. We have cleaned up and packed up. Let's talk about what we did on what was a fantastic day.
How did the Spurs do in their second game against the Suns? We'll react. Plus, have the Dallas Cowboys done anything? You know the answer. The Morning Huddle starts at 6.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasik.com.
When a cold comes on strong, try Dayquil's Severe Honey Flavor. The daytime, coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, so a cold won't slow you down. Get back to your day feeling relieved, enjoying the delicious flavor of Dayquil Severe Honey. Dayquil Severe Honey Flavor soothes your symptoms with a delicious taste. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Get to your local Twin Peaks Monday through Friday from 2 to 7 and score some sweet deals like $1 off all wine, liquor, and of course cheap shots. Freezing cold 29-degree cold beer. Of course we expect that. And you need more? How about a snack? Twin Peaks has select apps for $2, $4, and $6. And you can always come back for the late night specials. And why would you even leave for the reverse happy hour? No one does happy hour quite like Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and all those scenic views.
Saluting Vets is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. The nonprofit Hope for the Warriors gifted Iraq War veteran Chris Kind a greenhouse so he could continue his love of gardening.
It was just hard adjusting to that new norm. The biggest thing about growing this stuff and making me feel good is just giving it away to other people, man. I'm getting joy.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
ZipRecruiter's smart technology can quickly scan thousands of resumes, helping you find qualified candidates fast. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/40. Spring forward with a new hiring partner, ZipRecruiter, and find top talent sooner. See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Just go to this exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/40. That's 40. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com. The smartest hire.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancer pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax.
Touchdown!
A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Let's get wild.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure. Hope everybody had a great time out at the Golf Club of Texas for our Spring Golf Classic brought to you by Flight by Yingling. The Roo Pub was out there, Big Blind, Slackers Sports Bar and Arcade. Just a ton of great time. And, of course, the after party out at 90 Proof Bar and Grill. I hope everybody had just a fantastic time. One of the people that was out there bright and early this morning was one Mr. Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle, who you can catch every weekday from 6 to 10 right here on San Antonio Sports Days. Sports Stars, he and RJ Ochoa kind of get your morning started. And I hear there was a quite the start to your day and the show with how things got going even before the show got going.
Yeah, the sunshine you see today was not the day we had this morning. It was pouring down rain, and Greg Shelton, our crack engineer on crack, was forced to completely move our mobile studios about 15 feet from, out in the open to underneath a little patio. And, man, you'd have thought we were building a highway. He was not a happy man, but we got it together, had a great show and a great day, man. What a fabulous place today. The weather broke early. Sun came out. Everybody had a good time, and we had a record of two teams came in at 53. Nice deal. Yeah. I had no idea. I was telling the Blitz earlier the quality of golfer we have listening to.
I am
ridiculous.
Constantly shocked by how many scratch golfers can go out during our tournament and enjoy the libations that the Roo Pub and Slackers and everyone provides and still be able to play at that level.
Yeah, birdieing 17 consecutive holes, that's tough to do for anybody. But, when you're a Sports Star listener, it's just another day at the office. And we had two teams that managed that. So it really was a good time. I want to thank everybody for coming out and Golf Club of Texas. And Sierra, certainly 90 Proof for hosting the postcard, Flight by Yingling, all the stuff that Flight had out there, all the groups that were working the individual holes. Great day. Can't wait till September. Until then, we will muddle through. But, it was a great day.
Now, I'm a big fan of the Golf Club of Texas. I love going out there. I love playing. I have not been out there since they've kind of started renovating the place. How was it today? Because this was our first tournament out there.
It was our first up. New cart paths are coming in. It's a great place anyway, but there's been so much good rain over the last couple of weeks. Nice off course. Greens were certainly soft today. So it speaks to the quality of the course and the quality of the golfer. That turned into a great day all the way around. 53, two teams. They vouched. They were honorable men. We played an honorable game, and we will stand by the score.
Well, the big thing going on, especially in our comment section, people are talking about what happened with Shohei Ohtani, who came out through a new interpreter provided to him and read a statement. And this was kind of the crux of the main part of the statement, which was,
So I never bet on baseball or any other sports, or never have asked somebody to do it on my behalf. And I have never went through a bookmaker to bet on sports.
so, and he stands by the fact that Ipe, his former interpreter, not only lied to him and continued to lie to him to where he just found out that this was kind of a thing a few days ago, but also stole from him in the amount of that $4.5 million.
Man, we want this to be true, right? We want this to be a simple case of theft, that a good friend and confidant, someone that was around him for a long time, felt like he could get it. Now, keep in mind, Shohei's not making a bunch of money this year.
No, he deferred everything.
The big money doesn't come for a long time. And $4 million, I'm sure there's a lot of money in the Ohtani world, all the endorsements and everything else, but you've got to figure, it doesn't make any sense. We were talking off air that, if the Manti Te'o story and catfishing, when we all first heard that, it sounded like the most ridiculous thing that I had ever heard. And I've seen enough stories about it. He believes it really went down that way. I don't know, but he believes that that's where it goes. But there was no real criminal act here with that. This is a criminal act that this cat was going to try to pull off, holding $4 million over, away from Ohtani. And at the same time, the interview that was given, this guy gave an interview and said, yeah, I gambled, but he was just helping me out. And then that was pulled off, and now there's an absolute denial. That's the only way out for Ohtani. He can't say kind of like I was helping out a bro. He can't say I was kind of gambling. He can't say anything but this. And if that's the only thing he can say to save face, my first thought is, well, of course you're saying that. This is only a week into this. Let us investigate a little bit more. Let's hear the professionals before you come out and say that. I want this to be true. And if it's not, and if he did gamble, I think we have to have a realistic conversation here. I think we have to understand, like most other human entities, that there are going to be foibles. There are going to be people that come down the pike that are going to take a wrong turn and gamble on the sport that they're in. Is it the end of their career when they do it? And if we continue to agree that it is, or at the bare minimum a year like they do in NFL, where they literally are thrown out of the league and have to ask back in, well, is that the answer? Or do we find another method of monitoring and making sure that when they do make a mistake, if they do go error and they gamble on the game or something that's absolutely forbidden, that we know the ramifications. And I don't know if baseball's ready to deal with the fact that if he did in fact gamble on baseball, what are they going to do with the face of the game worldwide?
Now,
I don't know.
Now, you mentioned like what's the extent of this amongst sports? Well, as this is happening and Ohtani's delivering his statement, Woj drops the bomb that the Toronto Raptors forward, Jonte Porter, is under investigation by the NBA following multiple instances of betting irregularities over prop bets involving games this season.
See, we're in this gray zone where we want to act like everything is fine, when in fact underneath the surface there are issues, and the very viability of the games are at stake. I don't know where we go now, but I do believe we need to kind of completely reevaluate our response to this.
Well, the leagues are in bed with these instances, whether it's BetMGM, FanDuel, like they've made their bed in that regard. Do they have to have a zero tolerance type of response to any improprieties that may be involved? Because that's the only way for these leagues being
says. James, my gut says that we need to have a zero tolerance policy. I can't imagine skirting this line. But I know that if we continue with this path, where if I am caught, it is over, and I have to go to a book, and I have to go, whatever the case might be, and I don't know specifically with Ohtani, but I think we bury it even deeper. I don't know the answer as we sit. I do know that this is such an uneasy and unending alliance that as this Ohtani thing shakes out, all of these sports organizations, I don't know if they're happy with how things are working as, monitoring the betting side of things and, geofencing the players. So they're making sure if they are gambling, they're in certain spots. Man, you get to the point where maybe gamblers shouldn't be allowed to gamble at all, like none. That is just a byproduct of being a professional athlete and being paid to do that. You're just not allowed to do it at all. It just appears we can't have a gray line. Because what happens if Ohtani was doing that in Nevada? We wouldn't even be thinking about it.
Nope.
But it was.
Well, even if it wasn't a illegal book, there would be no issue.
So, we try to skirt and say it's okay, not on your game, not on Sundays, whatever it might be. It just appears to me that doesn't really feel like the answer. Now, it might be the answer, but, asking players to come up to the line to feel the heat of the fire, but don't touch the stove, get real close to it, hang around and cook something, but don't touch the stove or we will end it. I mean, I don't know the answer. I just know I'm very uneasy with where we are right now. And that's regardless of what Ohtani's statement is, because quite frankly, I don't care what he told me. I will care when the Major League Baseball investigator is done. But more importantly, I will care when the U.S. attorney and the police or whoever the investigative authority is done with this. Whoever that is, I will care, because a lot of us are going to look at baseball going, no matter what you tell us, I believe you're covering something up. Because that's where we sit when we start dealing with gambling.
He is Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle. Catch him and RJ every morning from 6 to 10 right here on San Antonio's Sports Star. Rob, I heard about your weekend and your basketball overload and trying to chase the dragon day after starting at your brother's and going all day with the drinking and like, I can do that better. No, I could do that better. While the weekend was a very, very eventful one for you in terms of college basketball and the joy that you enjoyed during, maybe not so much after, what were your takeaways from the round of 64 and 32 as we head into the Sweet 16?
James, I woke up this morning after watching that late Aggie game, and I'm going to send free throw. I'm going to win some send some free throw videos to Buzz, and they're going to work on some off-season free throw shooting.
But you said it, Rob. He just doesn't recruit shooters.
No, he doesn't. But I did wake up, and I wasn't sure if it was 2024 or 1998. No, and that's a good thing, because when I think of college basketball, I think when most of us think of the tournament, we think of the building of a rivalry, something that we knew was coming from the beginning of the season till the end. That if you were a number one ranked team and you took care of business, eventually you were going to meet number two, because they were that good too. There weren't bid stealers. That happened every now and again. But when you got to the playoffs or when you got to the tournament and you got to the round of 16, there were 16 teams, 12 of which knew on the first week of practice, if we do this, we're going to end up there. And these teams were so they were depth filled. They were led by juniors and seniors. It was solid basketball. It wasn't, big run, big three, maybe we can hold on to win. And it was hard fought, elite level basketball. And we've got that this year. I don't think it's going to stay, but it's top heavy. But the lowest seed in the 11, all of our top seeds are there. It just feels like there's this impending battle royale of, there's 8 teams out there that could win it all. Yep. When have we been able to say that? Other than 8 teams that we don't even know what their initials mean, like last year. SDSU, FAU, who? I mean, that's who we saw in the Final Four. This year, we're not going to see that. We're going to see State U. We're going to see Blue Blood. We're going to see the big-time boys show up to play big-time games. And it's nice to get back to that kind of idea that these guys are the very best and they're going to go get it. It's not a fluke. It's not a miracle run. It's not a Cinderella story. These are the big-time dudes. And you don't get that very often with a one-and-done kind of tournament.
But that's what we want, though, isn't it? Don't
I
we
think
want to
we
see
want
the
the
Dukes
upsets
and
early,
the
James.
Houstons and the Yukons
We want that,
when
yeah.
we get to the end?
We want the upsets early, but we want the heavyweights to show up with the Final Four. That's what we want. We don't. Last year was such a letdown. We loved the early upsets and brackets gone in 3 hours and all of that. But when we got to the Final Four last year and we saw UConn, San Diego State, Florida Atlantic, I mean, what? That's what college basketball has come to. So I think last year was the pendulum had gone so far out with the upset that even those when they scheduled, that was not going to happen this year. Like all those upstarts last year, like FAU and San Diego State, did you see where they landed this year? In the same bracket.
Mm-hmm.
This was designed to get the blue bloods and the big time boys back in the ring, and we got it. And I appreciate for what we've got. The very best are still playing, which means the next couple of weeks are going to be as good as we've had in 20 years.
Has your favorite changed to win it all? After the first weekend, do you have a different perspective of who you expect to meet in the finals or the Final Four?
I've always been kind of an old school picker. And I think if you're a conference champion, you deserve a lot. I came into the season thinking UConn was the best team at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I thought UConn was the best team at the end of the regular season. I thought UConn was the best team after the tournament, after their conference tournament. So all things considered, I'm not going to change it, though. UConn hasn't lessened, but I will say that Houston is certainly, after what the fight that they showed the other night, I think last night was remarkable. I think North Carolina is a team that has to be reckoned with. Yeah. Looking at what Arizona did with Caleb Love and the transfer and the offense that they have, that's a team that needs to be reckoned with. So big-time players coming up this weekend. I'm not changing, but I'm a little bit more concerned for my picks. And if I was holding a Purdue pick or
I was
a
about to
UConn
say,
pick
Purdue, do you buy
Houston,
into them
I
yet?
would be fine with it. You know what? Did you see what they did to Utah State? They will survive not because of Zach Edey. Zach Edey's going to be Zach. There's no defending that guy. He's going to go get it. It's going to be as good as their guards play. I still put them in the championship game. I just think that UConn's a little bit deeper. But if I had Purdue today, I'd be very comfortable. Just like if I had North Carolina or if I had Arizona or to a little bit lesser extent, even school like Duke, I think that they've even got a chance as well as they're playing. So, blue bloods across the board. This is what we like, right? This is what we look forward to. Great coaches, and these are all big-time coaches now. We know them all with the juniors and seniors playing. This is the ideal situation for me. I think this is the way that college basketball needs to be portrayed, especially as we go into this era of super conferences. Big-time teams playing big-time games.
He is Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle. Catch him and RJ Ochoa every single morning, 6 to 10, right here on San Antonio Sports Star. There's no better way to start your morning than with Rob Thompson and a nice cup of Joe. Rob, thanks as always.
I'm going to have a cup of Joe myself. James Pledger, I agree. You're the way in my day right here on Some Extra Innings. Thanks for having me on. I'll see you tomorrow, Jay.
See you tomorrow, Rob. Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Mike McCarthy. Finally, after all this time, we get to hear from him, and not just the fact that we get to hear something as almost absurd as this.
We have established a championship program. It's just not the world championship yet.
We get to hear his thoughts on the activity or lack thereof through free agency so far and how he feels with the rest of the division loading up around him. That more coming up here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is your home for college basketball's national championship.
On their way to their 12th national title game.
68 teams, Sweet 16, Elite 8, the Final Four. One winner takes all. Hear it all on your home for March Madness. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, presented by Westwood One.
Come join us right now at 90 Proof Bar and Grill for the official golf tournament after party. Don't miss out on the fun. Swing by, relax, and let the good times roll. See you at 90 Proof Bar and Grill, corner of Lucky 90.
You have unfiled tax returns or being threatened by the IRS that your wages are about to be garnished or bank accounts are going to be levied? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has professionals ready to fight for you. Their enrolled agents, tax attorneys, and CPAs have saved millions of dollars for taxpayers just like you. They won't just resolve your tax problems. They'll most importantly protect your wages, bank accounts, and all your assets from being taken by the IRS. Call for a free consultation. 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174 or go to alliestaxrelief.com.
Head over to Hulu this March, where our new shows and movies will keep you streaming all month long. Catch the acclaimed movie All of Us Strangers, starring Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott. Stream the new Hulu original limited series We Were the Lucky Ones with Joey King and Logan Lerman. And don't forget about Grey's Anatomy. Every Grey's episode ever is now streaming on Hulu. So, what are you waiting for? Go stream something new on Hulu.
Ulta Beauty's semi-annual beauty event is happening now. Unleash your love for beauty with 50% off daily beauty steals on hair, skin, makeup, and fragrance. Shop your favorite brands like Tarte and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Plus, grab perfect hair care pairs from brands like Redken and Olaplex. And check out new arrivals from brands like Charlotte Tilbury and Dyson. Shop the Ulta Beauty semi-annual beauty event online, in-store, or try pickup today. Now through March 28th. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
Hi, everybody. It's Joe Reinagel. You know, now is a great time of year to get your roof inspected and ready for our crazy spring weather. Be it hot, cold, rain, or hail. Who knows what Mother Nature has in store for us this year? Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. You know, your roof protects your home and your family. A quality roof overhead means comfort, confidence, and certainly peace of mind. Now is the time to get your roof ready for spring. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
My name is Jessica. Years ago, I was diagnosed with a thyroid condition. I slept all the time, was fatigued, had no energy, and a bad attitude. Now I've lost 50 pounds and I'm still losing. My medications have been scaled back, my emotions are stable, and I have lots of energy. People at work say I'm happy, perky, and my husband says he's not walking on eggshells around me any longer. The Institute for Functional Health changed my life.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Save big during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's with limited time deals on everything you need. Right now, buy one select DeWalt 20-volt max tool, get one DeWalt 20-volt max Power Stack battery 2-pack free, a $179 value. Plus, save $20 on a select bucket of Deck Plus wood screws. Find these deals and more in-store and online today. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 3/18 through 3/29. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as, that's 888-665-0696.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-686-8079. That's 800-686-8079. 800-686-8079.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Of course, if you want to be a part of the conversation, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle, just joining me. Of course, he joins me via the Buyers Barricades guest line online at buyersbarricades.com. They provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. The Dallas Cowboys have had a very, we can say, uneventful offseason to this point. Eric Kendrick's really the only person they brought back, and including adding minor pieces and parts around it. And in terms of what the Commanders have done, what the Eagles have done, hell, even what the Giants have done to a lesser extent, Mike McCarthy finally speaks, and it's not so much the
Buy into us.
that we heard right after we found out he was keeping his job. We actually got to hear from him via Adam Schefter, who was speaking to him at the owners' meetings going on out there in Orlando. And they spoke about a multitude of topics, including the fact that the Cowboys have been so quiet through this early part of free agency. And he said that's not new to him.
Well, I have a lot of experience in not being active in veteran free agency, so I guess it doesn't bother me as much. But no, I think it's like anything, and it really is. I mean, you're working on your roster 365 days a year, and that's always been a reality. And I think as a coach, I've really always focused on the guys I know are going to be there in the off-season program, because you really do have a chance to improve as a football team. I'm a big believer in a second and third year jump. We have some young players. We got some guys coming back off of IR that were young players that we're excited about. So we are definitely improving. We're just not part of the free agent market right now.
And he's talking about the improvements. And part of those improvements include Mozzie Smith, who in his second year will need to be better. DeMarvion Overshown, a guy that they didn't even really get to see last year. Luke Schoonmaker, who was in part due to Jake Ferguson's emergence and in part due to just his lack of production, will be looking for probably more this upcoming season. You're getting rid of a Michael Gallup, so maybe a Jalen Brooks or Camp, and see what they bring to the table. Maybe a Tolbert. They've got a lot of players on that roster that they're probably expecting a jump from in their second year that can be contributors that they had high hopes for. Now, will that work itself out the way we hope it does? That's the big question that still needs to be asked as it pertains to it. And McCarthy was was asked by Adam Schefter, is that something that the Cowboys fans should be putting their hat in terms of all their eggs in the basket of let's rely on these players to be developed and take a step forward this next year?
Well, I think that, and also there's a lot left. So it's you'll probably have a market right before the draft or post draft, and then you got your June 1st market, and obviously we'll have another draft class. So I have great confidence in our roster.
And you can. It's not like you can't have great confidence in your roster with the guys that are still on your roster that will be making that step up this year. Remember, after their first year, when we saw a lot of Terrence Steele, and we love Terrence Steele High School, Cibolo shirts, he's a homie. There was a lot of doubt about what he could do in his second year coming in, but the Cowboys told us about the amount of growth that he had done through the offseason and how confident they were in him. Little did we know he would turn around and play extremely well, and all of a sudden gets that contract extension, and here we are. Couldn't there be guys on the roster that make this jump? Is it a Brock Hoffman? Is it possibly a Matt Walesko? They will not shut up about Matt Walesko. The problem is he has the same problem that Tyron Smith has. He's never healthy, so we don't really know. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, especially with guys like McCarthy, with guys like Dak, all going into their final year, the entire coaching staff. Everything is kind of tied together McCarthy on if he feels any added pressure because of everyone going into their final year together.
I mean, I think as a coach, you really, every year is this. I mean, it's the same. I mean, let's be honest, and that's the way it's always been. This is personally, I've been in this spot. This will be the third time. And it's worked out, very well for me. So I'm not really concerned about it.
Something he's gone through before with the Packers and fought through it on a couple of different occasions. And I think if you're a coach, you kind of have to be wired that way. You kind of have to think almost every day could be my last day. And if you don't have a sense of appropriate fear, then complacency sets in, and that's really where things could go and kind of come undone. Frank Mateo says on our YouTube live channel, and if you want to be a part of the show, you can always subscribe. You can comment along on our YouTube channel at SA Sports Star. Washington picked up the center from the Texans today. Good backup center swing tackle? Yes, he is. Michael Dieter is his name. Filled in extremely well as a depth piece. He provides just that. A lot of good depth, can step in a pinch. That's a good signing by the Washington Commanders, Frank. And I know you're a Commanders fan, so that's a nice backup option for Tyler Biotish, and also a swing option on the offensive line, can play multiple positions. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I went to the Spurs game over the weekend. I got to see Wemby for the first time. I have some thoughts about everything that went on while I was at the Frostbank Center. That's all coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
It's Tuesday on the Morning Huddle. The golf course is done. We have cleaned up and packed up. Let's talk about what we did on what was a fantastic day.
How did the Spurs do in their second game against the Suns? We'll react. Plus, have the Dallas Cowboys done anything? You know the answer. The Morning Huddle starts at 6.
In Bell County, 1 in 3 people have low access to healthy food since they live 1 mile or more from a grocery store. The City of San Antonio Healthy Corner Stores are helping to change that. With more than 45 member Healthy Corner Store locations, fresh fruits and vegetables are now within reach at your neighborhood store. And all Healthy Corner Stores accept SNAP benefits. For more information, visit sanantonio.gov/Healthy Corner Stores. Remember, visit sanantonio.gov/Healthy Corner Stores.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
At Target, count on our great deals just in time for Easter. Save $5 when you spend $30 on toys with Target Circle, so you can fill their baskets with fun, like cuddly stuffed animals or 50-piece sidewalk chalk, all from only $5. Add an Easter chocolate faves at BOGO 50% off, from Cadbury to Reese's Mini Eggs and more. And get great family picks with new Easter looks. It's easy with 20% off dresses, polos, and more. Hop in fast for our best Easter deals, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know, with the tournament here, the college basketball pick'em is the easiest way to get in on the action and a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports. You've made your bracket. It's probably already kind of ugly. Well, there's another way to keep playing with your bracket already busted. It's the pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry. And all you have to do is select higher or lower on all different kinds of stats in this week's tournament games for a chance to win big, up to 100 times your money in a single night. Endless projections to choose from. Create your own experience. So download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to underdogfantasy.com. Sign up and underdog will match your mystery special pick to use in your first pick of entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
Are you hiding your teeth when you laugh or smile? Do you lack confidence due to the poor condition of your teeth? Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Mueller, Chief Oral Surgeon at Doctor's Implants.
I hated walking around with bad breath. I didn't smile. I didn't show my teeth at all.
At Doctor's Implants, replacing your teeth with full mouth dental implants might be the long-term solution you're looking for.
The 6-Hour Smile is a permanent full mouth teeth replacement. Your new smile will be custom designed to fit your face and lifestyle and will look and function just like regular teeth. You won't need to remove them from your mouth overnight, and you won't need adhesive to keep them in place. Eat freely and smile confidently again. Research them at doctorsimplants.com. Receive a complimentary doctor's consultation and CT scan when you call 210-640-0000. Again, that's 210-640-0000.
Mother 6-Hour Smile.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets to bust wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beat bonus offers. And when the madness starts and Cinderella man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game... Join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Fred Robert Casares Jr. said Wemby needs other players besides Vassell and Trey Jones, and the guy with the different hair colors, which I believe he means Jeremy Sohan, has Keldon Johnson is a balloon. Look, I got to see my first game of the Wemby era. Great tickets. Friend bestowed them upon me, and I left early. I were down 40 at one point. I got to see Wemby do Wemby things, but he only played about 20 minutes. And as you can see today, he will not be playing as they take on the Suns again at the Frostbank Center. Seeing Wemby was awesome. But that is the only attraction about this team. There is nothing else enjoyable about the product on the court that I was forced to watch. There needs to be a massive overhaul in my mind. And if I was a season ticket person, I may hold off just to see what they do in free agency and make sure that they're not going to subject me to this a second time. Wemby is the truth. Watching him was incredible, but there needs to be something done this offseason, and I do believe that the Spurs front office needs to be a part of that. And the good news is that Wemby will be an actual part of that. Darius says Spurs have to do something. We don't want another Duncan to Orlando situation. Look, the great news is Duncan always had the help behind him. He always had that. He had Manu, he had Tony, he had like the drafted players worked for him. Right now, Wemby almost feels alone at times, and it is a tough watch. And it is getting harder and harder to stay locked into what's going on as this season progresses. And that's something the Spurs and their front office are going to need to fix going into next year. Guys, I appreciate you. This has been Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star. I can't wait to get at it again tomorrow. time 6 to 7 on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, and sasportstar.com.
And paid for by AG Marketing Group. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following message. Getting out of a timeshare commitment is not easy, and it takes time. But we specialize in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare? Maybe you just can't continue